Hey everyone, how's it going? In this video, I'm going to be showing you my Eula Airstrike physical damage plunge team. It's a lot of fun, and whether you like Cloud Retainer or not, it cannot be denied that she adds something totally unique and new to the game. I haven't had this much fun in combat in a while, and I did not think I was going to like it as much as I'm really enjoying it actually. And I found quite a few different team comps that were pretty good, but some of them, maybe not meta-wise, but they were a lot of fun nevertheless. But my Eula physical damage plunge actually I found had really good results in the overworld exploration and in the abyss. It was quite fun actually, and she charges up her burst pretty quickly. Now, there seems to be a lot of misconception on how this actually works because people say, oh, it's clunky, and that sometimes the plunging doesn't work. I'll demonstrate it here real quick, so I'll pop her burst. And when you plunge, see, if I try to plunge or jump right away, it'll just kind of interrupt. But I notice if I do a little sprint forward, look, boom, boom, it seems to be very fast and effective. If you do a little sprint and kind of cancel it, do a jump cancel, I find that it works very well, and it kind of eliminates these interruptions that you get sometimes. And I notice a lot of people complaining about that. It seems to be a little clunky, and that when you go to jump, sometimes it doesn't quite do it, or your character throws out an attack. It can be a little inconsistent, but when I'm doing that little sprint, I find that completely eliminates that, and you want to utilize the entirety of her burst for her plunges. And otherwise, once I figured this out and got it down pat, man, I've been shredding things all over the map and in the abyss. It's been totally fun, and I find that obviously Cloud Retainer, one of her biggest benefits is that she works extremely well with Furina, and she's actually quite fun in the overworld for exploration. The abyss isn't really geared for physical damage right now, so it's not the most optimal, and I don't even know if it's the most optimal anyway, but I have had pretty good success with it, and it's been a lot of fun. I feel that this team I'm running right here, the Raiden Shogun, is obviously a good secondary DPS for anybody, but she synergizes really well with Eula, causing superconduct, lowering that physical damage resistance for enemies to help Eula with her physical damage, and with Furina and Cloud Retainer. I've actually got a video in the works as well talking about Cloud Retainer as a DPS, which actually is more doable than you would think. But in terms of this team right here, you can add characters if you don't have this exact comp. You could add Fischl or somebody like that to replace the Raiden Shogun, or Zhongli if you wanted the protection and shred. It really is up to you. There's a lot of different variations of this, but I do find doing this Eula plunge is very good and a lot of fun. Now, one thing you'll have to think about though is your energy for Cloud Retainer, because you're going to want that burst, which is a 70 energy cost, up at all times. I don't find it a really big issue to get her burst up and running. But for this team, you don't really want to run dual Anemo, so you might want the Favonius Codex maybe for the extra energy, and she scales off of attack, so though as long as you can manage her energy pretty well, you'll be no problem. That is another reason why I like the Raiden Shogun on this team comp, because not only does Raiden Shogun buff Eula and act as a great secondary damage option, and acts as a battery for the whole team. So there's a lot of different little variations you can run here. Rosaria, Beto, there's a lot of different substitutions you can make. I do think Furina is one of the better options to have in this team. And another small little detail to this team I'm finding too is Furina always having Hydro application at pretty well all times. Eula can actually freeze opponents in place, and this helps with the plunging as well, because you don't want people and having to chase them. If you can freeze smaller enemies in place, you can actually get them to stay still and plunge right on them, which is kind of nice too. For bigger enemies, this obviously won't be a problem, but even though the Abyss right now doesn't really favor physical damage at all, that is another reason why I find the Raiden Shogun to be an excellent secondary option for damage. And Cloud Retainer's skill, I find in this particular scenario, is nice at dodging the rocket ship when it comes down to you, and dodging enemy attacks, those big enemy attacks that hit you and do a ton of damage all at once. There's a lot of different bosses and overworld enemies that do that. With Cloud Retainer, you can actually dodge with her skill, plunge down, do a little bit of Anemo damage, get some energy, get out of the way like we just saw there, and then boom, strike back and start your cycle again. And it does feel very smooth, the rotations. The only thing I find that hiccups this once in a while is Cloud Retainer's energy management and how you're running it. That is why in her DPS build, which I'll show in another video, I find it's a little easier because I run a dual Anemo. But with this team comp, you're not really going to want to run 2 Anemo. I don't really see a scenario where that benefits Eula for this actual team comp, unless maybe Kazuha somewhere. But I want to keep Furina because Furina adds damage to everybody, and Cloud Retainer enables that damage. So they synergize really well, and Eula's able to freeze, and those little sea creatures are always doing hydro damage as well, which just contributes. You don't really want to lose that. And like I said, the Raiden Shogun, she's a battery. She adds superconduct for Eula, so you don't want to lose her either. I really do think this is the best variation of this team that I've tried myself. I've been trying it a lot. Let me know though if you guys have actually experimented with this team comp specifically, and if you found a different type of variation of this that works with Eula and physical damage with the plunging meta. It's a lot of fun though. I find it fun in all scenarios, which is cool. And I find that there's a lot of different characters that work a lot better than we thought would with Cloud Retainer. She definitely much more fun than I was originally thinking she'd be. But this is just a quick video. I wanted to showcase my Eula team comp, my airstrike drone. I've been waiting to do this for a long time, so I thought I'd make a video about it so you can see if it's something you'd be interested in doing, if maybe you're missing one of these characters to finish off the team. But thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know how you're liking the new update. I find the new location beautiful to explore. But on that note, thank you for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one. Later.